Massive change is coming into retail in 2024, and we kick off the new year with the rush for gold. And the top two companies that are duking it out appear to be an unlikely bunch, but nevertheless, Costco has been selling gold bars online to their members, or at least offering it up as a possibility for purchase. And now it seems as though Walmart wants a piece of the action in helping provide greater accessibility for people to buy and invest in one of the greatest methods of stored value and wealth and asset management tools known to man. This precious metal, a hard asset and a great hedge against inflation, wants the gold standard, whereas the evolution of the United States dollar, USD, from being backed by gold to becoming a fiat currency has had a significant impact in the evolution of economic history, reflecting both profound changes in economic policy and theory. We mustn't forget how the transition was made to pull away from the gold standard era, the challenges that led up to its abandonment, and the reasons for moving to a fiat currency system instead. The same fiat currency system linked and tied to a fragile, fractional reserve banking system and mental construct that's bound to fail and fall apart and collapse before long. But for the sake of time, we'll stick to the latest breaking news and answer once and for all, where is the best place to buy gold in 2024? Or at least come close to trying to solve this problem so that we can better prepare to protect our wealth as a top priority to kick off the new year. And let me first start off by saying Happy New Year, y'all. I hope that you had a safe and enjoyable new year, and I'm very much looking forward to what all this new year has in store, plus uncovering and further developing our success together here on the channel. So thank you all for your continued support. All right, so from what I've read today, U.S. retail sales grew 3.1%, which tells economists, strategists, and most importantly, retailers like Walmart and Costco that people must be feeling good enough about the direction of the economy to spend more in 2023 than they did in the year before, 2022. But according to Forbes, the Washington Times, Reuters, and others, U.S. holiday retail sales still fell below and behind expectations. And despite the U.S. holiday retail sales growth of 3.1%, MasterCard says it is still down from prior years. And just to share with you some of the cliff notes from Reuters, a MasterCard report showed how U.S. retail sales rose 3.1% between November 1 and December 24 as shoppers looked for last-minute Christmas deals and big promotions. The increase was lower than the 3.7% growth MasterCard forecasted in September and last year's 7.6% rise as higher interest rates and inflation pressured consumer spending. Both Amazon.com and Walmart ramped up promotions through November in the United States to entice bargain hunting shoppers, but analysts said that the discounts were not as deep as the prior year when retailers were just stacked with excess stock after the pandemic. And some of those discounts were rolled back starting in December when customers were expected to buy last-minute gifts and household goods on the Saturday before Christmas, dubbed Super Saturday. And according to an analyst at CRFA Research, many shoppers waited for Black Friday and Cyber Monday to make holiday purchases and finish the final sprint during Super Saturday, adding that consumers are still spending, but they're still price conscious and want to stretch their budgets. And the weeks before Cyber Monday and Super Saturday were a soft period for spending, but shoppers used the final weekend before Christmas to look for big deals. Online, e-commerce sales grew at a slower pace of 6.3% compared to last year's 10.6% as the popularity of online shopping came off pandemic highs. And according to the MasterCard Spending Pulse report, sales in the apparel and restaurant categories rose 2.4% and 7.8% respectively during the holiday shopping period, while sales of electronics fell 0.4%. But ironically, the end result was overall slowed growth in Christmas retail sales, while at the same time seeing consumer spending increase. The Washington Times shared how inflation and high interest rates reduced holiday spending this year, and most consumers and customers consolidated their spending to Cyber Monday and Black Friday, when most retailers were expected to roll out their biggest deals. Yet, even among deal days, most consumers proved to be more cautious with their spending as inflation ravages the average spender. So, for retailers that expected spending to be stretched thin this year, many of them offered extended deals to try and boost spending. However, as some experts have noted, the deals were not nearly as good as last season, when many retailers were trying to get rid of excess pandemic stock. And this is why we're starting to see a new shift and changing trend from retail giants. But still, customers spending and spent their money like never before, thanks to higher and more inflated prices. And according to the National Retail Federation, consumers spent $967 billion in 2023, which is up from 2022's $929 billion. So in 2023, people spent $38 billion more than they did in 2022, and that's just insane, folks. And according to Census.gov, retail trade sales were up 0.1% from October 23 and up 3.1% above last year. Non-store retailers were up 10.6% from last year, while food services and drinking places were up 11.3% from November 2022. But what does that have to do with the stores like Walmart and Costco, or possibly even Target and Amazon, selling gold bars to their members and customers? Well, it is the start of driving innovation in regard to inbound marketing and increased sales and revenue. In fact, we talked about this on a previous video, and I published this video on September 28, 2023. So if you haven't seen it, then go back, go check it out after you're done watching this one. But essentially, Costco is paving the way and attracting the attention of members and looking to draw the competition's customers away with the oldest trick in the book. Yeah, using something shiny to get people's attention. And for good reason, too. So back in the day, we had something known as the gold standard era, where basically the journey began with the early adoption of a bimetallic standard in 1792 through the Coinage Act, linking the dollar's value to specific quantities of gold and silver. And this era saw a pivotal shift in 1879 when the U.S. formally adopted the gold standard, directly tying the dollar's value to a fixed amount of gold. This period was characterized by the stability and predictability of currency values, facilitating international trade and investment, especially as major countries globally adopted a similar gold standard by the late 19th and early 20th centuries. However, the gold standard's rigidity became apparent during the Great Depression in the 1930s, facing several challenges and ultimately changes. The need to increase the money supply to combat the economic crisis clashed with the gold standard's limitations. So in response, the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 was enacted under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, devaluing the dollar in gold terms and prohibiting private gold ownership to stimulate inflation and growth. Post-World War II, the Bretton Woods system in 1944 marked a modified gold standard, with the USD as the central pillar, being the only currency directly convertible to gold. This then ultimately led to the inevitable abandonment of the gold standard. So the 1960s then brought new challenges similar to those that we face today, such as high inflation, trade deficits, and a growing supply of dollars overseas, leading to demands for dollar to gold conversions. And so the critical juncture came in 1971 with the Nixon shock, where President Richard Nixon ended the dollar's gold convertibility, effectively dismantling the Bretton Woods system, and with it, the gold standard in the US dollar, or for the US dollar. But this marked the transition to a fiat currency system, unbacked by physical commodities and based instead on government assurance, the same system that we still use today. So the shift away from gold standard, or the gold standard, was driven by the need for economic flexibility. True, yes, and this move allowed the U.S. government greater control over the money supply, which was crucial for managing economic crises and inflation, thus driving the reasons for abandonment. Meanwhile, fixed exchange rates under the gold standard often created imbalances in international trade and capital flows. Additionally, the slow growth of the gold supply was increasingly seen as a constraint on economic expansion, particularly during periods of rapid growth. And thus, in conclusion, while the gold standard provided a measure of stability and predictability, it also imposed significant constraints on economic management, and its abandonment in favor of a fiat currency system allowed for more flexibility and responsive monetary policy, better suited to the dynamic and interconnected global economy of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. And the evolution of the U.S. dollar from gold back to fiat currency reflects broader shifts in economic thinking and policy, adapting to the changing needs of a global economy, or at least from the perspective of the U.S. government. But the good news is gold has never lost its true value and continues to climb, with the latest spot rate per troy ounce price of gold at the time of recording this video being right around $2,062. And there are plenty of speculators, including folks like Robert Kiyosaki, who are talking about gold hitting $3,000. For instance, Watcher.guru just said a few weeks ago how gold to become expensive and reach $3,000 while questioning the best time to invest. So no wonder why retailers like Costco and Walmart are getting into the market and bringing these offerings to customers and regular in-store shoppers. And at the time, Watcher said gold prices are forecasted to skyrocket next year in 2024 and reach a new all-time high of $3,000 an ounce. The price of gold is now on an upward trajectory and is attracting heavy bullish sentiments in the charts. The precious metal is consequently moving upward by more than 6% every day and is becoming expensive to accumulate. And the positive growth comes after the U.S. debt grows uncontrollably, reaching $33.6 trillion in November, before continuing to share all the highlights of if now is the best time to buy and invest in gold to enjoy profits in the coming years. Now, what made this read so exciting was listening to what Bloomberg commodity strategists and other leading experts had predicted, or have predicted, that gold prices could rise by 50% in 2024. And how commodity analysts forecasted gold is expected to reach $2,700 during the first half of 2024 and eventually hitting $3,000 by the end of the year. So stock up, because I know I will be. Costco.com lists item number 1748080, which is a 1 ounce gold bar, PAMP Seuss Lady Fortuna Veriscan, new in assay, with an almost perfect 5-star rating from just under 1,000 customers' reviews for this 24-karat gold bar that is currently only available in limited quantities. So don't waste time if you want to get yours. And Walmart.com has a wide variety of options and a range of price points from as low as $54.83 plus $7.97 shipping, all the way up to $73,586.89 for a 1 kilo bar, or a 32.15 ounce 0.9999 pure, with the best matches coming in around the $2,000 mark. So this precious metal and hard asset, gold, often considered a safe haven for investors, is in demand both in good and bad times due to its perceived ability to retain value. This demand is proving to be consistent, especially during times of geopolitical conflict and economic uncertainty. Surprisingly, now, gold is available for purchase at some unexpected national retailers like Costco, Walmart, and Amazon. Costco warehouse retailers offers gold bars online, specifically the 1 ounce gold PAMP Seuss Lady Fortuna Veriscan bars, and these are available for purchase by Costco members, and the gold bars are priced competitively as Costco uses them more as a means to boost membership rather than for profit. Through its precious metals shop online, Walmart sells a variety of gold bars, coins, and other precious metals too. The retailer partners with APMEX or APMEX, a large seller of gold and silver, and has added several other resellers to its marketplace. Walmart offers these items without membership requirements, and shipping usually takes around 2 to 3 business days, while Amazon.com provides an option for those interested in smaller scale investments in gold. And the platform sells grams, gold coins, and gold bars, gold jewelry too. Amazon's advantage lies in its return and refund policy for gold purchases, along with free shipping for Prime members. However, customers should be cautious and ensure the authenticity of the gold products, as some listed items may not necessarily be genuine gold. But in conclusion, while traditionally purchased through specialized distributors, gold bars and coins are now accessible through these mainstream retailers, offering convenience and often competitive pricing for consumers looking to invest in gold. So, folks, if you guys enjoy this video, and if you would, please hit the like button and subscribe. For more videos like these, drop a comment down below so that I know that there's interest. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.